Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts, Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast. This is episode number 324. And even though we talked about 1984 last week and we said we were going to finish it up this week, we lied because that's how we roll. Actually, all four of us, our esteemed friend here, Bryan Harris, went to Louder Than Life in Louisville just on Saturday for the Saturday of the 4-day festival. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And unlike the unwashed masses, Bryan and I were smart enough to get VIP tickets and had nice seats under the canopy and access to really nice shitters and all kinds of neat stuff.
We stood right next to Paul's thing where he flies out onto
I
the
don't care
stage.
if you're standing next to Paul's thing or not.
We stood right there.
Was it his love gun?
No.
There were high points of what we had and low points of what we had, and we will talk about this in lots of detail.
Well, Dennis will talk about this in lots of detail. I was going to mute my mic and let him talk.
Now, while we were in the VIP, we did lower ourselves long enough to go say hi to the guys.
And we appreciated that. I actually bought a beer for the king, the bearded one here, and I didn't remember how many beers that I drank until I went and checked my Discover card today. It actually came through finally.
Well, they all had holes in them, so
yeah, exactly. I was only one off, so that was actually pretty close. I won't say how many of them.
I was going to say that needs to be private information. You
That's
don't
private
want to
information.
incriminate yourself.
No. I'm just saying I was one off, so I was actually keeping pretty good track.
We had 12 before we went in.
No, we had one. I had a mixed drink before we went in. I'll admit that. So.
At what were they, $15?
Yeah, Bill,
you got a mortgage house now?
Bill was, by the time we got to the gate, Bill's like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. What was I saying? I was trying to tell Kelly what they're like. What are they? Jack Daniels something mixer?
Jack and Cokes.
Jack and Cokes. Okay. Yeah, you were.
So Dennis, you were in the general admission area. How much were they charging for a beer?
$11.
Okay, it was
Man, you
11.
gotta lie, dude. You should
That
have
was
said
those-
$7.
No. So they were the aluminum bottles.
The aluminum
people
bottles.
that-
Long
Yeah.
neck, yeah.
So they look like a long neck beer bottle, but they're aluminum. But they don't want you to have glass, so they don't want you to throw anything at the bands.
Right.
Or each other.
Case
or the
in
people that
point of the picture I just sent you guys here in a little bit. We'll talk about it. Anyway. Rod and I were talking. We've been talking about this for 2 days now, and it's just they need to know about this.
Okay. So
Well,
how are we going to do this? Just
let's
gonna
get to
random?
it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So what time did you guys show up?
We
Some
showed
different-
up. I don't know what time we showed up, but Seven Dust was on stage.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay. And for the people that don't know for sure,
That was like 4 o'clock.
we all went
4:30.
on Saturday.
It was
Saturday,
like, 3:30, something like that.
right? And this was Saturday show. This
Correct.
was the one with the 3 headliners of it would have been Alice Cooper's, Rob Zombie, and Kiss. That was a day that we went. And like I said, you guys showed up. I don't even know what time Seven Dust played. We didn't even see.
I just
Seven
said
Dust,
it.
did we?
They played
What
at
was it?
3:40.
Oh, at 3:40. Okay. Because the first band we
Oh no,
we
no,
actually
4:20.
saw-
He said I looked at the wrong thing.
There you go.
4:20.
That was a popular 420 is a popular thing for that concert.
It was.
We
Yeah,
pulled in
that is, and you know what? That's probably an appropriate time for that band.
Bill and I met in New Albany, and we pulled into the parking lot in this elderly lady who was at the gate, who was really nice. She says, park in. Oh, was it R or N? What was
In.
it? In. She says, parking lot in, because it's all the way on the backside, but it'll get you quicker out to the interstate. We said, it's right next to campgrounds. And they said, thank you. So we pulled up there, and we got like two things in. We were right by the exit, and they had it was a ginormous tent with this music playing about as loud as the concert was. I mean, they had this. I mean, it was like a radio station or something, but they were just pumping the music out and people handing shit out. We opened the car doors and the wind's blowing. You know, there was a good breeze blowing and shit. Me and Bill opened the car doors, and we just got this huge skunk waft.
Wait a minute. Make sure you say that right.
Yeah, skunk waft.
Not from opening the doors.
No.
After we opened
the doors, and we could smell. All of a sudden, it went from my dirty car smell to it's skunk weed. And
that,
I'm sure a lot of people were envisioning you guys rolling out of your car like Cheech and Chong.
No, totally. We weren't doing that. But the thing was, down all day long, it was skunk weed. Yeah, it was prevalent.
I didn't smell it much the rest of the day.
You didn't?
No, not really.
Really? You were kind of
got nose blind to it.
You're already by half high.
No,
I don't think so.
When we walked out around and stuff, we could smell it.
You
In the VIP area, it wasn't. I don't think anybody was doing it there.
Yeah,
of course not.
Well, they're doing cocaine.
It's exactly right.
You should have seen the asses of the hookers that they were snorting the cocaine off of. Yeah,
I guess we
you
don't
get a lot
smoke
for VIP price.
Yeah, we don't smoke weed here, sir. We do cocaine, the quality cocaine. So anyway.
Excuse me, if you could please move your little pot smoking ass out the way.
So Bill and I actually we got in there around 1 o'clock. It was
we got in there right when the first
early.
band was playing. Yeah, we saw the very first band.
And we walked around and it was like real open, but the music was loud. I mean, I don't think they changed the volume of the music all night long. It just more people made it more bearable. But when Bill and I was there, we first got there that first hour. I almost got to the point I had a kind of a sensory overload moment, and I was like, I need to find someplace quiet for just a second, just to kind of gather my shit.
Well, you're walking around, you're trying to get oriented. You're like disoriented because you don't know where stuff is.
Right.
You don't know we couldn't read to figure out which stage is which.
We walked 2 miles to get back to the same stage we needed to go to for the first place.
Yeah.
You know, we were watching a band, and Bill goes, hey, we need to get over to this stage to see, because we want to see this band. It was at Airborne. So we took off, and we it has to be those great big stages way in the back. And we get halfway across by the bathrooms there and finally talked to one of the beer vendors. And I go, which one's the loudmouth stage? And he goes, it's that one right over there. And I was like, that's where we just came from.
It's the one, if you look at the top of it, it says loudmouth.
Okay. Thanks. We turn it. My thing, actually, we did 18,000. It was 6.6 miles of walking on Sunday or on Saturday.
And that wasn't from just the parking lot. I was afraid that was going to be the case. Actually, parked big. That is a big area. I've never been to one of those big festivals like that. And that is a huge, I mean, actually, for the way it is, it's set up really well. And I'm sure that they've learned a lot over the years.
Well, I did want to interject something about that.
Go ahead.
You know, having been to Rocklahoma, and they have the one main stage right out front, and then they have a stage on the left of the main stage and a stage on the right, and they go back and forth between the main stage, and at the same time there's a band on the left stage, there's a band on the right stage. And I never really cared for that. And of course you have the same thing at Louder Than Live when you have that many stages, because ultimately you're going to end up missing somebody you wanted to see because there's two people you want to see playing at the same time.
Yeah.
But I did like how, you know, the main stage, they had a left and right stage. And while Alice Cooper was playing on the left stage, you know, they were staging the right stage for Rob Zombie,
right.
You know.
And they had Alice Cooper and Kiss on the same stage. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah, they did that for all three areas where there were stages were. And I thought that was really cool. It seemed to make it go a lot quicker and more efficiently.
Yeah, because there was like 5 minutes between. I mean, they started right away. There was only like 5 minute gap between acts, and that was
if you wanted to get in front of that stage, you better hustle.
Right. You better
get in front of that stage and stay.
Yeah, you ain't going.
We
Where
didn't
your
go
depends.
We only went back to that one backstage one time. We went to the two smaller stages. We went there a couple times. That's the first thing we watched. We watched some band there, And I'm telling you what, they were so loud that it Breed. Remember that band Breed?
Yeah, I thought they were good though.
They were good. But I was sitting there and it was hitting my chest so fucking hard. I looked at Bill at one point and I said, I think my heart's going to change a rhythm here in a minute. And if it does, I hit the ground, you know what happened? Because it was just,
I was going to push you up against a speaker. It was going to do its own CPR.
And we weren't that close. Seriously. I mean,
we weren't that close.
No, we weren't that close, but it was super loud. And as I tell you what, the sound at the end of the night, the last three bands sounded really good. Cooper sounded really good. I was kind of, Pop Evil sounded really good. I thought that Airborne was mixed really bad. Their guitars, it was just that the drums were really loud. You remember that?
I didn't think it was bad.
But you really couldn't hear the guitars and stuff. And I thought that they got probably the worst sound of the day from what I heard. Everybody else was, pretty decent.
Yeah, we got there though. When we got there, it was so early. There wasn't a lot of other people there.
True.
So seeing that first band, but just thinking about when we got there,
right.
I would do that again. I would get there when we got there again, maybe even a little bit earlier, just to make sure we park back there.
Sure.
And then I'd tailgate outside for a little while.
There's really no reason tailgate to about 5 or 6 because there's
I don't know. There was maybe 4.
The problem is once you go in, you're in. And the seating, there's not a lot of seating there, other than when we sit down on the grass there for a short period of time before Airborne. Bill, you and I never sit down.
Nope.
My hips the time we went
the next day.
I got to the car and my ankles are swollen. I mean, I'm serious. I was looking down, going, "Holy
you were having
shit."
Water retention.
I was. I mean, it was terrible.
Beer. It was retaining beer.
It was
beer retention.
I've been to several festivals going back to the 70s, like the Cal Jams and stuff like that. And this one was the first one I've really seen like this. Well, except maybe Us Festival in '83, but if anywhere halfway back from the stage, or maybe even 3/4, you were standing. People weren't sitting. Where back in the old days, it was kind of sporadic, and it depended on who was on stage, but you'd have people stand, but then there'd be areas where people are sitting and stuff too.
Right.
But one of the things that, because I was on a couple of Louder Than Life Facebook pages, and it got pretty brutal this weekend. About half the people were complaining about, and the other half were defending it. But the crowd seemed to be younger and far more aggressive. I mean, they were, really smashing into each other.
Oh, there was definitely moshing going on.
They had the mosh pit. They had the, crowd surfing and stuff like that. Which, I mean, I saw the Ramones and stuff back in the early '80s, and I got in mosh pits, but they were fun. Here, people were like trying to hurt each other and stuff. And you're talking about
just old.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about seeing bands like Cooper and I guess maybe a little bit of Zombie, and then Kiss. It's like, who mosh pits during those bands? I don't know.
You don't know what life is until you mosh to War Machine.
Yeah.
or I was made for loving you.
Well, the thing was is where Bill and I were set up. We were behind where Paul come out and flown, but from the left part of that, we could see around and see the stage. So we actually was in a pretty good vantage point. But where we stood, there was only 2 people, enough for spaces for 2 people, and then there was a fence that kind of went at a 45-degree angle. And these people kept coming up behind us, and they were these younger kids. And the weird thing was they would form a line, they would hold hands, and they kind of put their heads down. Yep. And they would just kind of serpentine up through these things. And this one time, this guy and this girl come up behind me, and Jeff was with us too. Yeah. Jeff at one point, I swear to God, Jeff turned around one time. This girl kept fucking pushing up on him, and Jeff turned around and he goes, "Do not touch me again." And she's like,
"Way to go, Jeff."
Blah, blah. And he goes, "No, do not fucking touch me again."
Yeah. And
he just turned around, and that girl kind of went off. But these come up behind me, the same deal, and they're like trying to push through it. And I looked at that girl. I said, "Look, number one, there's no place to go." I said, "There's a fence 3 feet ahead of us. There's 2 people in front of me. There's no space. You're not going to go nowhere. And then she started off the other way. And I said, and you could at least, say, excuse me or pardon me. I said, I don't think your parents, did a very good job of teaching you. And she got off, started getting shitty with me. And I'm like thinking, this would be a good time to like maybe an elbow kind of go. But they stood there for just a minute. And then all of a sudden they started serpentining up through that side. But I saw a lot of that going on.
Yeah, that was one of the things that was said was people were like basically charging through.
Yeah.
And then pushing, people were actually getting hurt. People were, getting knocked down and hurt. There were kids that were hurt because people were so aggressive and stuff. And
y'all sound old.
I know.
Like a bunch of old bitchy women.
Well, you know what though, it was a you think about this though too. I don't know what the final number was on that night. I had heard somebody say 50 something. I heard 60 something. Who knows what? I don't know what.
Well,
it
Paul
was.
said it was. Paul said it was 70,000, so it was probably like 45,000.
At least,
But it was a very.
I don't know. I never looked it up.
But it was a severely diverse, age-wise group. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you had me and Bill was we're the old guys. No, but there were older people. than us.
Oh, there were older guys standing next to me that was older than me.
There were older guys. But then you had, down to the, teenagers were there. Then you had people with kids. Why would you bring your kids to this festival? I mean, that to me, I'm sorry.
Why not?
All right. Well, I don't know.
Well, again, my experience, they're not usually like that.
Right.
I mean, I didn't see anything.
It's really gone downhill the last 2 or 3 times they've had it.
I didn't. I mean, I don't know why I would have brought kids.
I tell you what, though,
that little girl next to me was 13. She seemed to be fine.
Well, look at the one that Bill went to talk to. Remember the one with the jacket?
Yeah, she was like, I don't know how old she was, 10, 9.
Right.
Oh, she's that old? I thought she was like 7 or 8.
Maybe.
Yeah.
How about the girl when we walked in and there wasn't anybody around?
We got to clarify for a minute. What? The girl was with her dad, and I was talking to her dad.
Right. Because she was a Kiss fan and her dad wasn't.
And her dad wasn't, which was pretty cool.
Bill wasn't being creepy or anything. He wasn't doing
this time.
Wasn't being. Never mind. I was going to say something. It's going to get me in trouble, so I leave it alone. I didn't sniff her hair or anything because that's weird shit.
But anyway, no. I mean, it was a very diverse crowd, and like I said, no, you want to bring your kids, you do whatever you want. That's no big deal to me.
Yeah, I didn't think it was anything that you wouldn't see anywhere else, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think so. But here's my thing. I sent you guys that picture real quick. I sent them a picture. It looks like a butt. But it
is a butt.
But what I want you to, but I want you to look at what are they standing on?
I was going to bring that up. The whole area is gravel.
And it's not just pea gravel and shit like that. Those are throwable
driveway
rocks.
Gravel.
Rocks. But no, seriously. Actually, when we were over there when we were watching Airborne, those were those rocks when you were a kid. You couldn't even ride your bicycle on them because they're so big that they kind of they move on you like it's like driving on little boulders. Why in the hell? Because like
do you know how much it costs to pave all of that shit?
I know, but what I'm saying is just they don't want you to have cups and shit like that, but they got fucking projectiles. You're standing on a pile of projectiles.
I heard someone say something about that, and it's because with any chance of rain and stuff like that.
Well, I can see that drainage and all that stuff too, but still, I mean, I told Ron, I said it would be so, and then of course it started this thing where I told him I said it was gold and we should probably film it, but and be like Paul Stanley's up on that fucking, it comes out for love gun. All of a sudden this fucking rock comes up and hits him in the fucking head. He's like,
oh my gosh.
He's like,
that'd have been bad.
Who sent this out here? Is it the crazy people to the right? Or is it the crazy people to the left? Or is it those crazy motherfuckers in the center?
Oh yeah.
I want to know who hit me in the head. What I'm saying, that's a lot of danger. I didn't even think about it till I was telling Rod about it, and I was showing him my shoes, how white. I mean, my shoes went from black to white, because of the rock dust. He goes, they got rocks there? And I said, yeah. And I showed him that picture. He goes, God damn, he goes, those are fucking throwable rocks. That's crazy.
You know what
So,
I
yeah,
find interesting is I'm pretty sure Dennis didn't take that picture because of the gravel. He just noticed it afterwards.
Well, I was looking for pictures of gravel, and that just happened to be it. Actually, I actually sent that one to my wife, and I sent a couple of those.
Nobody
like
believes that, but you.
No, I sent it to actually my wife and our other two friends because I was like going. They were going to the Philharmonic, and I'm like going, well, this is the shit I'm seeing. Look at this shit.
I got news for you, pal. You won.
Yeah, I guarantee it. But all in all, I tell you what, for anybody who did a 4-day ticket and went every fucking night, I mean, God bless you.
Salute.
Because I tell you what, I am old as fuck, dude. That night, absolutely. I texted Bill the next day, and I told him, I said, dude, I am fucking toast. I mean, I got deferred and had to pull over and sleep for 30 minutes because I couldn't make it home. I was so fucking tired. It was nuts. I had no food.
Well, the fact that we drove an extra 30 miles out of the way because the freaking highway was closed didn't help.
The bridge is out.
That was turned into a shit show. So,
and then we couldn't get food at rallies. We couldn't get food at the Waffle House. Where'd you guys end up getting food at, Alan?
I got a bag of potato chips at the front desk at the hotel.
Yeah, they didn't even have anything else. That was.
I stopped there at Georgetown, and I got a one of those hot burritos, the gas station burritos, and a chicken sandwich, and I was happy as a lark.
You're lucky you didn't shit your pants on the way home.
I needed something because Bill and I ate Five Guys at about 10:30, and that's the last time.
That's where Bill got that sore on his lip.
Five Guys.
Five Guys.
Oh,
Five Guys. Way to go, Brian.
Since we went to a music festival, why don't we talk about the music?
Well, you know what? I've got the rundown of what we saw.
Well, start running it down, Bill.
Run it down.
All right. So we didn't see all these bands fully, but these are bands that we saw some of. Right. So at least. So the first band we saw was Silence. They were playing on the main stage when we walked up.
By.
They weren't bad. Young band. Obviously, they paid to play. I mean, that'd be my guess. The next band was on the stage right in front of that was called Breed. They were pretty good. Took a picture of them. They were. I liked them. They're the ones who said had the too big of a bass sound or whatever. And I think you're just old. That's your problem, asshole. Anyway, and then that was like 1:20. The next one we saw started at 2:30. So that was Airborne, which I really liked them. Dennis had kind of sent me an email earlier and said, hey, check these guys out. This is who I want to go see. So checked them out. I thought they were really good. Enjoyed that. Then at 3:05, we saw bits and pieces of Tetrarch. Remember seeing them? Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I did some research on those. That girl guitar player, she's a heavyset black girl. She's got a really beautiful face. I mean, she's a pretty woman. But her and the lead singer were best friends since like grade school, and they loved music. And she's got all kinds of endorsements. She's really good. Check her out. So
actually, I think she was on Josh Toomey's show too, because I think I saw a picture.
Oh, did she? Okay,
I think I saw a picture of her of the two of them on something too.
I was impressed.
Yeah, and then 3:40 we saw. This is why we didn't move. Okay, so the first one was on the Loudmouth stage, second was on the Loudmouth stage, third one was on the Loudmouth stage, fourth was on the Space Zebra side. I mean, they're right beside each other. We didn't have to go anywhere. So we saw at 3:40 we saw Pop Evil, which was great. They were really good. They're always a great band.
Very impressive. Did not know it was a girl drummer.
Yeah, I saw them open.
Oh, I knew that.
I didn't know she was a girl.
Of course, we did some stage work with them when they were in Evansville.
Oh, they were really good. I liked them. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who I saw them open. It was really early. It might have been Saliva. I think it was Saliva and Pop Evil, and that was a good show. Then at 4:20, Seven Dust was on, but I think that's when we hooked up with you guys. Was somewhere around that time, because I think
where I lost you for like an hour.
Yeah, I think we were we got separated.
we got separated.
And then so I heard some of that, but not much. And then Jerry Cantrell was on at 5:05. I heard some of that, and there's a reason I don't like this, so I walked away.
Makes you depressed. Don't need it.
The next band was at 6:35. I had and there was Chevelle, and I don't know what happened. We didn't hear them at all.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
They did Pain Below. I heard him play it.
I don't remember. I didn't see that. I don't know what happened.
I think we were kind of off to the side. I think it was during when we first.
I saw that skunk smell. That just
No, I think that was when we were hanging out with Jeff. When we were hanging out with Jeff, and we went to.
You got roofied.
Yeah. We were over looking at the blackened. We went to the blackened booth, and we went to another bourbon booth.
See, I think that's when we were still.
I think that's when we were lost.
I didn't find you at that point.
Yeah,
I didn't find you for a while. It was like an hour and a half. So, but I heard some of Chevelle. I went and listened.
Yeah, I wanted to see them, and I didn't get to see them.
I did. I watched a little bit of it.
7:30, we saw Alice Cooper. 8:35, we saw Rob Zombie. And 9:40, we saw that band that was headlining. I don't know, Kiss, something like that. We saw them.
Yeah.
For my 46th time, by the way. What about you, Brian? What number was that for you?
69.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
You know what? Just hold there, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
that was 18.
I've said, well, this was probably going to be it, but then I've had like friends. Gene said they're going to play another 100 shows. It's like, well, I'm not going to drive 5 or 6 hours to go see them. If it's reasonable, I would probably see them again. But
it was a good show though. It really. I mean, I actually.
Before we review that show, let's talk about what bands you guys saw. Did you guys see the same band? What did you guys see?
Well, go ahead, Brian.
When we came in, Seven Dust was on, which the couple songs I heard I enjoyed. And then we saw Chevelle and Jerry Cantrell, which I really liked. And then Alice Cooper. And then couple songs before Alice was done, Alan and friends Justin and Megan went over to the stage to see Body
Count.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Cool.
And now we had a table and chairs, and people were sniping chairs as soon as you turned your back.
Wow.
So I said, I'm going to stay here because I've seen Body Count a couple times, and back in LA, and I like Rob Zombie, so it's like I'll stay here, hold our spot. I folded up the table or the chairs, and I leaned on them, and I saved our spot for when they got back for Kiss. So
what a sacrifice.
So Brian, from the Alan, both of you guys, from the tent where you had your chairs and stuff, you were looking at what, the space stage and the other stage?
Yes.
So you were over to the left-hand side.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Correct. As you're looking at the stage, we were off to the left.
Right.
Yeah.
So do they have VIP places at the other stages also?
No.
It was just the VIP.
That one area is the only VIP area there is.
Which isn't true. There is another VIP on the right side.
Yeah, on the other side, on that upper.
But it's like big.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like big money. I mean, you're talking big bucks.
Oh, that's a different level of VIP.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that I forgot what they called
that.
Very
important.
But it's expensive. But then you get your food and drink and other stuff free.
Gotcha.
But you're paying for it up front.
Yeah, those are like up above. Those are like you had to go up a few stairs to get up there. Yeah, a ramp. Yeah.
So if you wanted
I think Justin said his brother was there and he did that other level of VIP or whatever, but I can't remember what it was called.
So Alan, when you went and seen the body count, was that at the back stages back there then? So you just basically had to be like commoners and go back there for that one then. Gotcha.
I had to go out and mingle with the masses.
I think Bill, didn't we walk back there for that ghost meme? Were they back there too at those smaller stages back there?
I don't know.
Remember we walked back there. We walked back there for about 5 seconds and we were like, "Going, this is not our kind of music." It was like,
oh yeah, there was some band, but yeah, there was something playing.
That was Ghost Meme or whatever it was.
I don't know.
Well, what was really funny about where we walked to see the Body Count show is the spot where we were standing, because we stayed back away from the crowd in case they got crazy, But from the spot where we were standing, every time Body Count would be done with a song, you could hear Rob Zombie. So we caught bits and pieces of 2 or 3 of the songs here and there, but I'll just go ahead and say, Body Count was my highlight of the trip.
Really
cool.
Well,
cool.
for one, I'd never seen Body Count before.
Right.
You know, so I really, really wanted to see them, which, you know, that brings me to another kind of sort of complaint. But I mean, somebody's going to miss out at some point because they got to have two bands playing at the same time to get all of those bands done by the end of the night or whatever.
Right.
So I had to sacrifice seeing Rob Zombie again to see Body Count.
Gotcha.
And you know, the Alice Cooper show was pretty much the same Alice Cooper show that we've seen.
Well,
Except they swapped out a few songs. What disappointed me about that was your Alice Cooper, got your big show going. You got Kane Roberts, who was a popular 80s guitar player for Alice Cooper. And what did they do? Let's do a drum solo. Yay. Kane didn't do a solo or anything. And I was kind of surprised about that and a little bit disappointed.
Kane to me that was not playing at a high level. I really miss Nina.
I don't know.
I personally listening
to
him.
All of you people who miss Nita, she's gone. Let it go.
I know. She'll probably be back in about a year because
I bet she doesn't. I bet you she doesn't.
Demi's already. She's the model chick. She's already saying she can't wake up in the mornings. It's just this is stress. This is her last tour. I can't do it. It's just too much. But anyway,
yeah, because no band on the planet has ever said this is my last tour, and it really was.
But no, I was kind of really disappointed because I remember seeing Kane on video, you know, in his early days, and to me, he didn't play that. I wasn't that impressed by his playing. He actually was playing kind of sloppy. There was some bad notes here and there I was catching. He looked really nervous. I know he's new, getting back out into it again, and that was a big crowd for him probably too. But he just looked a little off. That's just my own personal opinion.
Well, it's my understanding that he's only going to be in the band just for finishing out whatever this leg of the tour is or something.
Maybe.
I don't know how long that's going to be.
But he's not. I wasn't impressed. But Alice, of course, sounded. You know,
Alice is just amazing.
He's fucking always amazing. If you ever seen a bad show from Alice, I don't think you're ever going to. I really don't. I just in case he dies on stage.
Sounds so damn good.
And it'd still be cool. It'd be like going, oh my God, he died.
Oh, he finally did it right. The guillotine worked.
But no, he is just absolute professional. And everybody he's got playing around him are professionals. It's just Alice. It's always a guaranteed good show. I mean, that's all you can say.
Yeah, I think that might have been the third or fourth time in 2 years.
Yeah, I think Al and I seen him.
And I think all of us went to all four of those shows, didn't we?
Yeah, and
we have.
Well, I went to see him once in Indy.
Yeah, you didn't go to the
downtown.
Evansville show though, did you?
Right, but no,
we did. Yeah,
but it was on the same.
I
It was
didn't
the
see the
same leg.
Evansville.
Yeah,
You know, I didn't see the Evansville, but I saw the one in Nashville. You guys,
so I'm done. I'm pretty much. I'm good for a while.
But I like Alice. But
I do like him.
See Alice anytime he's close.
But yeah, I think I'm good.
If it was Motley Crue or of that, I mean, like,
nope,
okay,
I'm done with them. Not going to see them again. Ever. Nope, not going to happen.
Let's see, I could go see.
So one of
really good.
I can tell you, a highlight for me was I really liked Airborne. I liked them. I did too. Thought they were really good.
High energy.
And I had not seen Rob Zombie before, which I really enjoyed him. I didn't know if I would or not, but I liked him a lot.
Let me ask you this: did he do fucking in a UFO?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. That one when they played in Evansville, I had, you know, for some reason Zombie had fallen off of my radar, and when he did that song in Evansville, I was just like, oh my God, that's the funniest fucking song ever.
I don't think he did that.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't remember those lyrics or anything.
He didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, you would remember it if you heard it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to your review.
I don't think
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. I mean, those are kind of my highlights. Other than, you know, we can do a Kiss review because I think we probably should do that. So that was my.
Well, it's not like any of us really like that band.
Yeah, that's true. So let's say a quick funny story before we do that, if you want.
Please do.
So there were a couple of my friends from high school that had reached out to me and seen that I was going to be down there and said, hey, let's get together. And we were able to text and kind of call each other and stuff like that till about 4 o'clock. And then at 4 o'clock, you couldn't really do anything. I mean, there was the signal just died. I mean,
That's about the time I lost you.
When the masses started coming, and then,
I was like,
but literally, the last text message that we exchanged was right as they started Rock and Roll All Night. And they said, we're at the light behind the stage Paul flew to. So after it was over, when the confetti and stuff started, I walked back there, and it took us all day to connect. So it was right at the very end of the show before we were able to connect, which is really cool, but still,
Yeah.
we did.
Well, yeah, there were several people that, I was like, hey, when we get there, we'll hook up,
Yeah.
So for
Good luck with
anybody
that.
going to Louder Than Life in the future,
There's
make
no-
your plans to meet up with somebody prior to the event, because once the event gets good and started, I don't know if they're sending a signal jam out or if it's just because there's 60,000
It's just
phones
so many
trying to
people.
connect to one cell tower.
Yeah,
But
it-
yeah, make all your
175,000
meetup-
people.
Make all your meetup plans ahead of time.
Yeah,
we
it
ended
was
up
ugly.
my neighbors, our neighbors for a long time. Max grew up with Dylan, and he was there. His mom had saw that I was going to be there, so he texts me and says, let's meet up. And we played tag, and he had a 4-day pass. And on Sunday, I get a text going, where are you at? I'm at the barrel, the iHeart Kentucky barrel. And I go, I'm not there, dude. I said, I'm out of there. I was only there for a day. And he's, oh shoot, but yeah, it was, like I said, Bill and I got lost. I think at one point we got a broken phone call between the two of us, maybe for a second. And then the texts were, and if you ever text with Bill, even when we're in good shape and everything, you have to decipher his texts.
It's true, because I don't give a shit.
And they were worse. And it was like, and then I was getting broken, and some of them wouldn't go through, and all of a sudden I get like a flurry of like 6. It was terrible. Yeah. There is a big barrel in the middle of the thing. So if you ever get lost, you should meet up there.
We realize at the age of 50, we need to have a meeting place.
We do. Like
safe
word, a safe word, and a meeting place. That's what
I wouldn't call it a safe word. That's
don't leave with anybody unless they say the word jelly bean or some kind of shit like that.
Exactly. Safe word is pineapple.
But anyway, I thought to never been there before. I thought I had it's a lot to go. It's a lot. I'm too old for this shit. But anyway, I like it. But it was fun. There was some things I would do different. I would take sunglasses and take a hat.
Right.
I spent most of my day like this,
Right.
trying to see that sun. They have both of the biggest stages there on the planet facing the west. And of course,
would you take a jacket there, sir? The old man. Would you take a jacket, old man?
Okay, so yes, I did. I tied it, but it was nice to have extra pockets to throw my water bottle.
Yeah, it
in.
was nice. You had it tied
Now,
around
Bill-
your waist. You look
But
like
Bill thought about it, because when we were at Target, he bought a sweatshirt but he
I bought a
decided not to
thermal
take it.
T-shirt.
A thermal T-shirt.
Thermaturge.
But he decided not to take it in. So yeah, coats, no, don't need a coat. Just enough people will just keep warm. But yeah, sunglasses, hat.
Dude, just snuggle in. There's like
And Bill,
75 beds.
would you crush your bottle at the very beginning of the day?
No, that was so. Brian, crush your bottle and then try to fill that back up. See how that works out for you.
You'd have
Bill
to
had been
put
tw- Bill
on it.
had Bill had drank his first water, and then he's sitting there playing with his bottle, and he's crushing it. He's like,
So I was tired. I want to stick it in
twisting
my
it.
pocket.
And then he gets it out later to get water, and it won't hold but about a thimble's worth of water. It's so fucking smashed. I like blow on it. Get it.
Well,
pop it back out.
the water and Bill might have both been smashed by that point. I don't know.
But anyway, so Bill got small drinks of water at a time.
No, finally, I just stood there and I blew in it to where I gave
What
myself
did you?
a breathalyzer. Then
How
it
much
fixed
money
itself.
did they make selling booze that one day? What do you think? What's the number you can throw out there? More
I
than
don't
what
know.
they spent on tickets.
I don't know, because I thought the bourbon area would be busier. I mean, there were people in there and standing and stuff like that, but you could walk right up and get a drink. There wasn't a line. I think I waited in line for like 1 minute.
But you're
But
No, well, they had enough everywhere though. I never stood in line for
No,
beer.
there wasn't any. I don't.
You could get beer everywhere, or that bourbon stuff, and that was what, $15 a pop, or maybe like $3.50
Exactly.
in a handshake.
Well, I know, like in the VIP area, they had, what they have, Alan, 20, 22 little bar areas,
Yeah,
and
there
almost
was-
every one you could just walk up to it. And then we have really nice restrooms. They weren't porta potties necessarily.
Well, except that one restroom, it looked like something exploded in that one restroom. So it's like,
Were they in trail? Were they trailer restrooms?
no,
Yeah.
it's like a pipe had broke somewhere, and the floor was just covered in liquid.
No, we
I
had
missed
the
that
old,
one.
just porta potties, and they were fun.
Oh, I
Then
did
we
take
got our
a.
own merch stands, our own food area. I mean, it was nice.
Yeah.
All I did was I bought a round of drinks for everybody, but I just drank water all day, and we didn't eat anything there.
So not to be nosy, so mine, what do we pay, about 140 was our tickets bill?
Yeah, 130 something.
So what did you pay, Alan, or what did you guys pay for a VIP ticket? What was the difference?
Well, I'm not going to tell you because then you'd be nosy.
No, don't be a dick.
Actually,
Brian,
I don't know how much it cost. Laura
remember-
bought it for me for my birthday.
Brian, do you remember?
I don't remember what it was. Right?
I think it was a 2 something, wasn't it?
By the time the service fee was right at 3.
Was it
Yeah,
3?
I think it was $269 if I'm not mistaken. But
Yep.
then
That
the longer
sounds
you
about right.
waited, and the longer you waited, though, the prices went up.
Did that include your parking too?
No.
See, because it was 25 to park. That was
Right.
the other thing. So that's what Bill and I did. We knocked her down to 25 instead of 50 by taking one car. We met, out there and
Cost us $85 in extra
Well,
gas to drive all the way around.
That's what we
Louisville.
ended up.
That's true too.
That's what we ended up doing, because we were going to meet Jeff. Jeff come to the hotel and was going
Right.
to meet us for lunch, and he was like, "Well, hey, why don't I just drive and all three of us go over there and back together?" So
Right.
that saved us, because as soon as I got my ticket, the first thing I did is reserved a hotel and bought my parking pass.
Right.
So I thought this was I took this picture. I thought this was interesting. So did you get, oh, you can't read that.
Can't read
Dang
it.
it. Okay. So that's the soap dispenser
Okay.
in the urinal
Right.
or in the porta pot.
Well,
Does
take
it
a
say,
picture of
"Please
that.
do not eat the mint"?
At the bottom of that, it
Let's
says,
see, this is not for human
no,
ingestion.
at the very bottom, there's a white sticker and it says soft and silky dispensing system.
I saw they had those.
But do you see this thing here? Yeah, okay. That looks like a rubber thing with slits in it. And so I showed my wife that and she goes, that looks like something you could never mind.
I don't get it, but anyway.
It's like, don't know what you're talking about. But I just thought that was odd. It's strange that it's the soft and silky dispensing system. I thought, that could soap,
Right.
that would be an option. Or in this case, lube. I don't really know. It freaked me out. It freaked me out. I didn't wash my hands. I walked out and rubbed him on Dennis's back.
Ew.
I was like, hey man, I was itching. Thank you. I appreciate that. So good.
All right, so
all in all, for me, I would do the VIP again, because it's nice. Even if you can't find a seat, you can get in there under the tent and get out of the direct sunlight.
Right.
Access to the better food, access to the better toilet, stuff like that. To me, it was worth it. To others, it may not be worth it.
Yeah,
I think that
I would VIP it. Yeah.
I think the only thing that I would do different is I would try to make sure that even though I don't want to see the first 7 or 8 bands, maybe I would still get there earlier, because we were stuck in traffic. And the reason that we got there, we didn't get there till 7 dusk is because traffic was backed up for, a couple miles.
That's
we
why
drove right in.
We
Yeah.
drove right in. I mean,
Yeah.
we actually took the wrong exit, the airport, and then the gates,
fortunately
and it was
for
closed.
Fortunately for us, Jeff was driving, because Jeff has this uncanny ability to just be a dick and pull in front of somebody. It was like, I'm going to be a dick And if they're sitting beside us when we get in, I'm going to buy them a drink.
Yeah.
That was funny.
No, it was a lot of fun.
What did
So
you
what
say,
were your thoughts
Brian?
on Kiss? What were your
Let Brian was trying to say
Oh, sorry,
something.
Brian. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I agree with what Alan said. The VIP is the way to go, but I would definitely. We got there when we did because we couldn't. We had to check in the hotel, so we couldn't check in too early. They let us check in early, but not. So if I was going and it was like like a day like that day, I would probably get there the day before. Go ahead and check in and just maybe look around Louisville or something that first day. And then get up the next morning and get there early so I can get a nice spot on the edge of the VIP area. And then make sure you have, a couple people or no other people that are going to be there like we did, like Alan did, so that you can share the table. And if people need to go do something or if you want to see different acts, someone could stay there to keep your area and stuff like that. That's what, you're going to have to do that. But
that way we wouldn't increase the body count.
Yes. So yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
I'll stick with my poor man's ticket.
Yeah,
I was happy with it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I
would
enjoyed
tailgate
it.
longer and go in a little bit later, and then be ready to go.
I'd get there the same time, tailgate out in the parking lot longer. Yeah. That's what I do.
Eat a big lunch and then go in.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say about Kiss or Bill?
I'm just going to say, what were your guys' thoughts? What were your thoughts about?
I thought it was a good show. I didn't like, what was it? They played, what was it? Because you looked at me and it was like, they did Love It Loud or
I Love It Loud.
yeah, they did that one. And what was the other one I didn't like?
War Machine.
I'm not a big War Machine guy either. So
No.
Yeah.
I
Let's
thought that
see,
was good.
Creatures of the Night is one of my favorite Kiss albums. So anytime they do anything off of that album, I'm like, yay.
I thought they sounded really good. I didn't think that Paul's vocals were
Which
messed
ones?
with a
Real
lot.
ones or the?
I don't think that they were. I mean, he was sounded a little rough all night, which
Yeah.
I'd rather.
I don't know
that.
how much. I don't know how much.
Yeah, I don't. He
Assistance.
I'm sure they
he
had
got.
some, but I don't think it was as much as usual. And so I did notice that, and I'd rather hear him sound a little rougher. That way, I kind of know it's like, well, they're not trying to completely cover it up. We're gonna let a little bit slip out. But no, I thought. I mean, playing wise, I thought the sound was really good for them. I thought everything. It was actually a really good show. It was short, but it was a real good show.
Alan and I were talking because they played 20 minutes past 11.
Yeah, they were supposed to be done at 11.
Right.
So, but as far as the set though, there were 4 songs they didn't play off their normal set. What they've been playing, they didn't play Say Yeah, they didn't play Deuce.
Darn the luck on the Say Yeah.
They didn't play Tears Are Falling, and they didn't play Beth.
Well, I was not surprised
Do
that
You
they
Love
dropped
Me?
Tears Are Falling.
Right.
Yeah, Do You Love Me is on their regular set list. So.
It hadn't been. They cut it off.
Not just the last few they've been. It's been.
No.
Last time I saw them, yeah.
I thought it was a good. I thought everybody else. Like I said, I think Gene was sounding good. Everybody sounded good. It was. I was having a good time.
I was happy. I thought they did a great job. I thought Paul sounded pretty good. I don't know how much help he got. I don't think it was as much as I'd seen in the past.
And
it
I'd never
sound
been
as clear. And when he started doing the little thing at the end or when he did Do You Love Me and he announced it, I freaked out. Dennis can tell you because that
I was like,
believe,
okay, there you go, Bill.
I believe Brian
This
and
is
I
the
both
last
made a
time, 'cause
comment about him.
I was happy.
Yeah, we made a comment about you, but we won't tell you what it was.
I
It was
don't care.
funny because I've never been close. I've always had a seat where I've never been where I could be with all the confetti. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna finally get there. And the fucking wind was blowing so hard
the other way.
It was like nobody in the Kiss section got anything. The people that were watching Rob Zombie over there, they got all confetti up. I was like going, well, it looks pretty, but I had never seen one piece.
See, we didn't realize that they were going to play as long as they did, because when he went out onto the podium after Love Gun was over,
right?
Was it Love Gun or the next song?
No, Black Diamond.
Well, I did. I was made for loving you.
I was made for loving you out there.
Yeah.
after they did I Was Made for Loving You, we figured they were going to do Rock and Roll All Night and be done. So we
Yep.
started heading. We got to see some of that
Oh.
confetti out by the parking lot.
Yeah, it blew. It carried
It
all the
was
way.
blew way
Oh, I
the hell
guarantee
over
it.
there.
This probably was down around Fort Knox somewhere at that point.
Wow. But I thought it was a good show.
Yeah,
I thought it was good. It was worth going. I'm glad I wasn't
I agree.
disappointed.
Totally agree.
Yeah,
So
me too.
if they come around anywhere reasonably close, you guys going to try and hit them up again?
Probably.
I don't know.
You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, once you're on crack, you can never go back.
I'm gonna,
Well, now
I'm gonna
I'm
say,
at
what's that?
now I'm at 46. Or if you include the Dubai show, which was really a live show, even though it was on TV,
Well, that'd be 19 for me.
it was a
then. I
live
never
show.
thought- I could.
Then that's 47. So now I'm close to
not
50.
I'm not counting my Family of the Park concert. I'm not counting like all the other smaller things I've seen them do.
You should.
Get out of there.
Yeah. Get that
Yeah.
noise out
God
of
damn
here,
it.
Brian.
But no,
Sorry, I
I
thought I
would.
was
Well,
muted.
what I'm going to do is I'm
You are not
going to
muted.
give you my regular answer. No, Gene doesn't need any more of my money. I'm never going to see him again. Now
Until
we'll
the
come
next
around
Till
again.
next week.
till we get one close. It's like one. Well, okay. Oh, one more, maybe. We'll see.
You know, the fun part for me now is going and seeing like that girl that was next to me that was 13 years old that had never seen him, or the dad that was taking his daughter that had never seen him. You know, those things for me are the cool
Right.
part. That's the stuff I think is really cool. Is
Do we
people
have, did
going
we
that
have
had never
anybody
seen
we
him
gave a
before.
card to? Email us. this week?
No, God, no. We gave out a bunch of cards. They
we
gave
were
out
like
free
we were like
can koozies.
creepy. We were like creepy old Ben. It's like going here. Email us and we want to put you on our.
Oh, there was some
show."
guy that was like stoked. Oh man, that's cool. Never seen him before. He was
The
like,
guy was
oh,
wearing the Mona Lisa Jean shirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
And
was.
we actually gave a card to a bunch of newbies, people that had never
We
seen
did.
Kiss before, and we said, "Hey,
Yep.
come,
You want to get you on the
us a
show to
holler,
hear about your
get you on the show,"
experience
and,
and what you
yeah,
thought?
They just thought we were creepy old. They're like, "Oh man, you remember those creepy old dudes handing out cards?"
Yeah, I said he does a rock podcast. It really sucks. I do one that's pretty good.
Did you guys see the big? Did you guys see the big fat hairy guy with the like dark tan that was running around with angel's wings and in his tidy whities?
Yes, I did. Saw
Yes.
that one. I saw the huge old Gene Simmons guy with the big old pot belly. Did you see that guy?
I did not see the tidy whitey dude. I think I'm
Oh
glad.
yeah. I saw Jesus. He was walking around.
I saw little Jesus a couple times.
I think he was hanging around the wine bar over there. He was changing water to wine over there.
He was wine.
No, no, he was changing wine to urine.
I saw all kinds of stuff. Bill and I tell you what, Bill and I feel sorry for this girl, and I hope you made it through your weekend. But Bill and I had just got there. We went that Solist. We're walking down, and we're over there where they're having all these. They have like the little shops where they were selling little trinkets and shit. And there was a girl sitting there outside, and she was
This
just
is like 1:30.
Yeah, it wasn't even that late. I think it was 12:30. And I look over there, and she just starts going. And then she bends over, she fucking throws up, and then she sits back up. And we were walking toward her, and I'm like, going, I just think she just threw up. I go, yep, there's puke on the ground. I go, look, Bill. I said, she's already throwing up. He goes, what? And then she bends over again. And I'm like, she's by herself. Nobody there holding her hair. I'm like, going, man, your day.
So Dennis went over and said, "Can I hold your hair?"
No.
I go, you creeper.
No, because I actually almost, when I see people throw up, it makes me
I
throw
throw
up.
up too.
So I'm like, going,
I ran.
we're not going to start this. So yeah, I was looking. I kept looking this way. But
Crazy.
yeah,
But it was fun. I will go again if the right bands are playing.
It was a freak show though. I was just seeing all these people, and it was just a freak show. But it was fun. It was fun. I liked it.
Well, now that we have just kind of babbled for about almost an hour,
That's what we do every week.
that's what we do
Hey,
every week.
it's a show.
Yeah.
But if the bands are there, I think it's a good venue. I think it's a great location. I think it was, if you go at the right time, it's easy to get in and out of.
Yes.
And I would recommend Louder Than Life Festival.
Well, I would take Louder Than Life over than Rocklahoma just because it's a 2-hour drive as opposed to a 9-hour drive.
I did go on to YouTube, go on there and put Louder Than Life 2022, and there's all kinds of videos. The whole, I think it was Thursday night, Tenacious D concert is on there, and it's fucking hilarious.
Speaking of Tenacious D,
yes.
A couple sat down at the table beside us, and the guy said, "Do you mind if we sit down?" And I noticed he had a European accent,
Right.
so I let him sit down for a little bit. And he's like, "We came for 4,500 miles to be here."
Right.
And I said, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, we come from Finland." And I says, "Well, what made you decide to come to this particular festival?" And he said, "Tenacious D." Which I thought that was kind of cool.
Louisville, Kentucky. I'm going to come to America.
If you get a chance, Kentucky. You actually watch the show though, because they do a whole fucking, it's like a comedy act too, and it's really funny. Jack Black's like going, "We love Louisville, we love Kentucky, we love your chicken, we love your bourbon."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It. But I mean, he's just like going off, and it's really fun. And then KG, they get mad, and one runs off the stage, and it's like a play.
It's a show. Yeah.
But it's funny. And of course they, fuck her harder is the very last song, and it's everybody in the whole crowd singing with it. It's the greatest shit ever.
Yeah, I was hoping they were going to be on the Saturday, but
yeah, I love to see Jack Black. That'd be awesome. KG.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
You guys about ready to call it?
Let's do it.
All right. Visit agesofrock.com. Check out past episodes and social media links. And until next time, peace out. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.